Well, so we want to do some discussions on the AM show, which is live on the Joynews channel of Multi TV, and just watch Kemina having a lot more discussions with that gentleman's team, who is trying to garner that very position if the nominations are open for chairmanship of the MPP. Now we have to talk safety and safety on the roads and what comprehensively is being done by all stakeholders. He is a former MTT commander, but currently operations manager of the Road Safety Management Services Limited, and is a road safety advocate. We have in the studio ACP Victor Tando retired. A very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure speaking to you.
Yes, and a Merry Christmas to you too.
But more importantly, are you usually satisfied with the current measures put together by all stakeholders vis-a-vis the police, the Road Safety Commission, and the other stakeholders, especially for this period that we have?
Yeah, surely. It has gone a long way to assist in making traveling a bit safer. But then you have to mention Road Safety Management Services Limited too. They manage actually safety on our roads with the kind of tow trucks that they have, and which are distributed in all the 10 regions of the country. But let me come back to National Road Safety Commission, which initiated most of these measures that have been put in place, and which is working to me. Because if you look at the introduction of retroreflective tape, the yellow tape on the vehicle, it gives conspicuity, especially in darkness. And especially now that we have serious fog at night, when a light is thrown on it, it shows that a vehicle is ahead, and it helps so you don't run into some of these vehicles unnecessarily. And then we have the warning triangles, which have also been introduced into the system and which is also working effectively. And the biggest achievement to me is the introduction of towing services into this country. And that's why I said the Road Safety Management Services Limited should be mentioned anywhere that the success story of safety in our country is being mentioned. Especially now that Road Safety Commission themselves have come out, that together with the police, at least accident fatalities has been reduced to about 10%. 10%. Yes, it has been reduced to 10%. They gave a figure that last year, for instance, within the same period, they recorded about 1,700 deaths, as against 1,400 this year. To me, it's significant. It's an achievement which we need to push it forward. And it is because, largely, the Road Safety Management Services, which operate towing trucks in all the 10 regions of the country, they are always on the move. Once they get to know a vehicle has broken down, has become disabled, or is involved in an accident on the road, they quickly rush to the place and ensure they remove the obstacle from the road. You see, otherwise, and the National Road Safety Commission themselves, during their research, came out to say that about 20% of fatalities on the road are due to the presence of disabled and broken down vehicles. And therefore, if these things are being removed day in, day out, then of course it's a success story that Road Safety Management Services Limited have added onto the safety on our roads. Yes, so yes, the police, Road Safety Commission, Road Safety Management Services, and all the agencies or stakeholders are doing the best that they could, including the drivers themselves. They are also, especially their leaders. Their leaders, GPRA2, Cooperative, Protua, they're all involved. And for, I think, yes, there is some amount of success, and all of us must be happy.
Usually, when we're talking about road safety issues, the focus is always on how accidents will be reduced and fatalities, etc. But what comprehensively are the underlying measures that are taken to make sure that the other factors are also put into gear before we come to the apex of making sure accidents are not on the road, vis-a-vis if it's education and all that?
Yes, and that's what I said. Certain measures, innovations that were orchestrated by the National Road Safety Commission and which are being put into practice has gone a long way in helping to reduce these fatalities or accidents on our roads. But then education also counts. Day in, day out, we are on the radios, we are on the television stations, The police are all over the places. In fact, this year, the police, in collaboration with the National Road Safety Commission and NADMO and others, they've all played a major role, including fire service. You see them at the various transport terminals, giving education to drivers, to passengers, to pedestrians, and more so to the executives of the various drivers' unions, making them believe that they are the first core of police activity enforcement. If they are able to discharge their functions properly at the various transport terminals, then of course the police will have little to do even on the road. So it's about empowerment to passengers, to everybody, so that we all be on the watch out. So the education is going well, and it is not only restricted to the transport terminal. They are, we find them on the road, where they stop the vehicle, board the vehicle, and then go and then ask the passengers whether they feel comfortable, whether they think the driver is somebody who is capable of taking them safely to their destinations. And they don't fear, they talk openly. So I think this type of empowerment and this type of education is also going a long way to assist in ensuring that at least each and every one have some traveling, safety traveling to their destinations.
Now, let's turn attention to the issue of making sure we manage the rate of the accidents on the roads, doing the education on the roads. Usually, which stakeholders would undertake that in terms of if it's making sure that going to the stations and doing the necessary checks on the roads and checking whether the speed limits are okay?
Yes. In fact, I think I forgot to mention DVLA, because all these agencies have a special role to play. For instance, the National Road Safety Commission embark on education, telling drivers and the passengers and all the pedestrians, whatever, as to their responsibilities on the road, and making them to believe that road safety is a shared responsibility and should not be relegated to one particular group. They make them to believe that. They create this kind of awareness. And the police who are there to enforce the law also tell them, when we meet you on the road, these are the factors, or these are the items that will be required from you. This is what we're going to inspect. For instance, we will see your headlight, whatever, your spare tire, whether they are inflated, whether it is a new tire, and then we will do some more inspection about you, the driver, your license, whether you have the capacity to drive the type of vehicle that you've been driving. They will do all this and then educate you. And then also fire service will come and talk about their fire extinguishers, as to how it is used, applied, and then how you will not be deceived into buying any wrong type of fire extinguisher. And they do a lot of demonstrations at the various transport terminals. So, and then they will tell you that it is part of the law that you should have it. And it must be in readiness to fight fire, so in case it occurs. And the police have the responsibility to ensure you have it. And then DVLA personnel, they are technical. They will come and also talk about their technicalities, about your braking systems and whatever, and then offer advice. You see, so the combination of all these group and agents or stakeholders goes a long way in helping to create an awareness for. And therefore, when you go to the road, you get to the road or the highway, and you are stopped by the police, you know what they are looking for, because already you have been educated on it.
Now, let's move on to the subject of broken down vehicles, accident vehicles, etc. When was it noticed that this was a difficulty until it needed to be checked?
Yeah, it all started in 2006 after a series of accidents involving broken down or disabled vehicles that were left unattended on the road, on the highways. I'm sorry, that some high-rated personalities, including some ministers, have even lost their lives as a result of these broken down vehicles. So in 2006, National Road Safety Commission called stakeholders meeting, and then to try to find solution to this broken down, because the police whom we relied upon do not have the capacity. they have some old and tow trucks which cannot serve the purpose. At a point in time, National Road Safety Commission, through the Ministry of Transport, managed to secure 2 tow trucks. I think 31 tonner, 31 very heavy duty tow trucks to the police. There were only 2, and these were being used up and down, and no time all this collapsed. They became they were not road worthy again, and therefore they were parked. And then National Road Safety Commission moved ahead and invited personalities who owned tow trucks to see if they could hold on to the fort. There were about 6 of them who came. They showed interest. They brought their proposals, which were very good on paper. And the country was subdivided into 6 zones and allocated to these companies. But there were no major discussions as to payment of some money, compensation, as to how they'll be able to retrieve their investment. So it was a difficult task for them. And then most of them were also not able to organize themselves properly in terms of tow trucks. And so with the challenges and the difficulties, they discontinued arbitrarily. And therefore, the situation became as it was. Broken down vehicles, causing a whole lot of havoc. And so I think in the year 2010 or 2011, thereabout, a new company emerged, and that is Road Safety Management Services Limited, which actually showed commitment that they will be able to handle the situation. So as I speak now, we have about 118 tow trucks of all categories, all classes.
That you use in undertaking.
Yes, they're taking this task. We have the 12 tonners, which can tow a vehicle of the same class. We have 19 tonners, which can tow a vehicle of the same class, double. And then we have 31 tonners, and we also have 44 tonners. The 44 tonner can tow a vehicle which weight is even more than the 44 tonner. They can also lift vehicles that fall into off the road, into gutters or into deep valleys. Deep valleys, they manage to secure all those vehicles.
How serious is this?
And then they also have flatbed.
Oh, okay.
Flatbed for these saloon cars and the
normal 4x4s.
The normal 4x4s. So they have all this. Besides that, they have motorbikes which have been distributed to the residents so that they would monitor the road and find out where there are problem disabled vehicles so that they communicate for these vehicles to be there. They have all this program. And then besides they have ambulances. You see, they actually manage road safety. So they have
ambulance. So it's a comprehensive
It's a comprehensive activity that they engage in.
Okay.
They have the ambulances. So in case there's emergency, accident or crash, they have to go there. And we are doing this in collaboration with National Ambulance Service. So they provide personnel, and then we provide the ambulance. They go to the place to solve some of the problems of the accident victims. Besides that, we also have this year safety assistant. I think most people have been seeing them on the road. They put on orange type of dress, helping to manage traffic
complementing the work of the police
within intersections. They support the police in doing all these activities.
How serious is the subject of broken down vehicles on the roads? Because usually when you're doing your travels, you get onto the motorway, especially the long distance, you look at the corridors. Whether it's the corridor from Aflawo to Accra,
and then to
Tetekwashi to Elubu. You get to see that you find a lot of cargo trucks that are broken down, and even from Accra to Kumasi to the northern part of Ghana.
Most of them.
Why do we have such a phenomenon?
Yeah, you see, most of the vehicles are the age. Most of the vehicles are old, and in Africa, I would say, not only in Ghana, we don't throw vehicles away. So some of the vehicles on the road are about 30, 40 years. We manage them. You see, we manage them, put pancake and then they are still on the road. So as soon as they load and they are going, they get stuck on the road. But thank God these days they are managing to do what is right. Anytime they realize the vehicle is going to break down, they try to go to the shoulder of the road where they park. Few of them are, of course, left on the road, which create disaster and risk for all of us. And then in some cases too, we don't have enough rest stops on the way. So some of the drivers, when they feel they are tired, they park off and then they take some rest, which is also not safe, because the shoulder is meant for emergency situations. When one is on the road and there's emergency, he could divert to the shoulder for safety. See, so if the shoulder is already choked, then it means that person is going to run into a risk. So I think there's need for us to get more rest stops along the route, especially on the national roads, the N1, N2, N3, N4 plus. There are many.
If we say the N1, the N1 that we Ghanaians we know is the N1 that has been called the George Bush Highway. Do we have any other categories of roads?
The N1 starts from Aflawa, as you were saying, to Tetekwashi, and it continues to Cape Coast to Elebu.
Oh, really?
That is N1. And then N6 starts from Watu, the post office, up to Nsaum, to Kumasi, and then Bolga.
Oh, okay.
And so N2, N3, there are so many of them. They are all national roads. And I think the government is doing well to see how best this national roads will be given a proper and fitting road to befit the name national.
Because I was just driving this down and I saw some of the cargo trucks they had stopped on the motorway somehow. I think some of them were broken down, they were being towed off, etc. How can we make sure that this becomes a consistent exercise, or how can the public complement the activity?
It should be collaborative activity, and that's why I said road safety is a collaborative venture, and all of us have a responsibility to assist. Yes, the public have interest in calling radio stations, TV stations, contributing to programs. That is very good. They should add this one to it. And the number to call is 18555. Okay. 18555. You can access it to all the networks, and it's toll free. When you call this number, it will go to the police, and then you tell the police what you have observed. A broken down vehicle here or disabled vehicle here, which you would think constitute threat to other users of the road. As soon as they receive the message telling them where the location is, the type of vehicle. The type of vehicle is very important, so that when it gets to road safety management, they will know which class of vehicle to dispatch to the place. That's why I said 12-tonner can tow a vehicle which weight is 12-tonner. If it is 19, yes, 31 and 44. So if it is a bigger truck and you send a 12-tonner, it will not be able to do the job. So you should be able to tell if it is an articulator, if it is a cargo truck, you tell. And then the police will inform road safety management, because we are in collaboration with them. And as soon as they get information, they will discharge the appropriate tow truck to the scene to go and salvage the situation. So yes, the public should take note of this number that I gave, 18555. And anytime they come across any of those, whether in the cities or on the highways, they should call us, and we will manage to be there on time to save the situation.
What do the statistics say as far as reduction for the year, and the roles played by the complementary agencies to make sure that they have made the necessary inputs? Are we making any headway at all?
Oh, surely. If you look from April 2012, when this organization, Road Safety Management Service, was officially launched, up to date, I think they've towed over 4,000 disabled vehicles off the road, something that could have caused or contributed to some accident or crashes on the road. They've managed to put off all these vehicles, and the records are there for everybody to see. You see it. And then coming to this data of crisis or accident as released by the police, I do not have that here, but from all indications, even yesterday, National Road Safety Commission was on the air, and they were happy to say that, yes, so and so. But they added that even though the number of fatalities is reducing, it is not the best.
Why?
Because even if one life lost means a lot to the bereaved family. And therefore, our wish is that there should not be accident or crisis on the road, or they should not be death on the road. But I think we are gearing towards achieving the 2020 year decade of action of road safety, which was declared by United Nations. So if for the first start, Ghana has been able to reduce by 10%, then I should think by the year 2020, if we continue with the kind of activities that we are engaging, then surely the 50% reduction could be a matter of reality. A matter of reality.
Now, in trying to make sure that roads are towed, or cars are towed off the roads, can it be done nationally? Is it something that is feasible?
Oh, yes. You travel outside the country, elsewhere, and it is there. When your vehicle breaks down, you only call, and it is towed. You are not asked to pay anything, because the person whose vehicle has developed that problem pays into a certain coffers.
Is it the same thing that's happening in Ghana?
Yes, it's going to happen.
Okay.
Parliament has come out and they've accepted that depending on category or class of vehicle, you go to DVLA, and I think they are working the modalities. When the modalities are worked out, you go to DVLA and you pay something small on what you are supposed to pay. You pay something small on it. If it's a saloon car, 4x4, bigger trucks and whatever, you pay something small on it. And that payment means when your vehicle breaks down, you only call the number that I gave, and then the tow truck will be there to tow the vehicle to a safer point, a safer location. We must take the emphasis on that.
A safer
location. That is, it is towed off the road completely.
Just to prevent accident.
To prevent accident. It is taken to about within 20 kilometers away to a safer place where there should be security and other.
Why is it crucial to take these cars to a safer place, so to speak, and not just park them beside the road?
A lot of people like repairing their vehicles on the road,
which is not good.
Which is still not good.
Okay.
When you repair your vehicle on the road, the oil spills on the road, and then a whole lot of things happened. Some people do not even have the warning triangle to display.
And they even create obstacles.
They create a lot of obstacles. They put lorry ties, they put blocks, they put all manner of things, which is not desirable. So once the vehicle is towed to a safer place, of course, that safer place, they could have some mechanics there who can help you if you don't have mechanic. But if you have your own mechanic, then you may have time to invite your mechanic to that place to even repair the vehicle for you. And if you want the vehicle to be towed to your mechanic at your own destination, then of course, that is not part of the contract. You pay something small and the tow truck will tow it. So the responsibility of the tow operation is that they should tow it from the point A, where it has become disabled or broken down, to point B, which is about 20 kilometers away. They go and park it conveniently for you. So at the end of the day, you invite your mechanics to attend to it for you.
Okay.
But if you want further extension, then that is also a
different... What about people who perhaps will be part of the whole initiative you're saying, but let's say my car hardly breaks down for the year?
Oh, but insurance. You see, we have been doing insurance. I have comprehensive insurance for my vehicle. I've been using this vehicle for about 7-8 years. It is never gone into gutter, no ditch. And I keep on paying. You see, like they have insurance. You don't know when you might fall sick. So therefore, if you contribute, it is to your own interest that the day you fall sick, at least you have something to lay your hands on. And then you must know that it is not going to assist you alone. It is going to assist other users of the road.
Because sometimes there are commercial vehicles that collide, and there are hundreds or tens of lives that are lost.
That are lost. It is so that if you pay and it does not benefit you, it will benefit someone else. It will benefit someone else. And that will go a long way in at least assisting to make the roads safer. And that's why we said road safety is a shared responsibility and all of us must contribute to it. So yes, you may pay and you may not be told. It doesn't mean if you are not told, it will not be in your interest. If somebody's vehicle breaks down, it could be a problem to you. or to your relation. That's what we have to take note
How
of.
important is it that you, all stakeholders like you and the others, and those even charged by the state to undertake all that, continue the type of education that is being done? Because sometimes we can have a lot of education and information, but why is it important and critical?
Oh yeah, at least it's a new system that is being introduced, and people should become aware of its benefit. In all situations, there are challenges. You see, so the education is necessary, so that people will come to terms, people will understand it, so that it will not generate into any sort of conflict or this. So I think the education, all stakeholders must get involved, and those of us who even listen to this program and other program should share with the others, so that when the time comes for its implementation, it will take off smoothly.
Now, let's talk at the last subject before we let go, because we don't have the time.
Yes.
Because my director is telling me we have to let go. But more importantly, if you take the work and the collaboration that the Road Safety Commission is having with all its agencies, would you say that's satisfactory?
Yes, to a larger extent it is. It is especially the role that the police are presently also playing. Now, you see the police visibility. The police visibility is initially, when it started, people didn't understand. But the first step or the first phase was to create awareness that anytime you need police, you go to this location, the police is there waiting for you. That was the first phase. So the people were saying, oh, the police are not doing anything, they're only standing. It was to create an awareness of their locations. And now they are into second phase. So now when there's traffic congestion or whatever, some of them leave the place and go and assist to decongest the traffic. So the police visibility, the police presence on our roads, and the kind of discipline that is being generated into the system, the police system now, is going a long way in assisting National Road Safety Commission for them to achieve their desired goals of reducing fatalities and accident and fatalities off our roads. And I think all the stakeholders are doing major role. It's not only the police, fire service people are doing very well. Yesterday, for instance, in Accra, and MMDH, like here in Accra, we see the Accra mayor and NADMO people and others all playing a major role in ensuring that Accra City become free of serious traffic congestion. But I think on the whole, if you go to Keneshi and other areas, you see the benefit of that action. So on the whole, to me, yes, we are on the right path, and we need to keep on moving on the right path, and then getting more people to support it. We don't have to leave everything to the government. All of us should come and then share ideas as to how best the road could be safer, because at the end of the day, it is a road which all of us use, and we must use it responsibly.
Are we going to be in a position to say we're satisfied with so far the collaboration, the education that you've undertaken for the youth high season? I mean, so far,
yes,
I think we've seen some better management of accidents that we've seen previously.
Yeah, this year has been a major, I think, achievement, and I hope and believe that all those who have played a significant role in achieving this goal will continue to do that. I say because one life lost means a lot. Because that person who has lost the life, he's going to leave a widow, he's going to leave orphans, and a lot of people who depend on him are going to lose their daily bread. So I think but we should continue. We should be very mindful of our intake of alcoholic beverage. And we should also be very careful the way we eat food. Because during this type of the season, we get all manner of food. Oily and all that. We must be
disrupt your
cholesterol.
Whilst you are
at least we should be very careful.
Thank you very much, and thanks for making time to speak to us this very period. And a road safety advocate, a former MTT commander, but also currently the operations manager of the Road Safety Management Services Limited, talking about efforts being made not only to undertake a national towing exercise, but also to improve safety on the roads, and speaking to us on the subject. We're very grateful to you, sir.
Thank you.
And again, our road safety tip for the morning: make sure you don't talk or text on your mobile phone whilst driving. More importantly, always put on your seatbelt, and always make sure when you get to intersections you observe basic road signs. Well, so those are the road safety tips we have for the morning. Now, we're going to have a drive-by interview. We're looking at tourism in Ghana. Usually when we talk about tourism in Ghana, is the expectation that foreigners will come into Ghana and they'll get to visit all the tourist sites. Apart from all the talk about the non-development of the inadequate development of the various tourist sites, it's the subject of how locals, as Ghanaians, we can also be part of domestic tourism. Is that possible? We'll be having in the studio officials of the Ghana Tourism Federation and also the Ghana Tourism Authority officials will be here. Right now, we're taking a short break. When we come back, we'll be doing and talking tourism on the drive-by interview.